Let's try that again. Turn the mic on. That might be a little better. My eyeballs came into the room just now. Who is that? Come in, come in. Oh, there's somebody back there. Who is it? Ladies, gentlemen, are you there? Come one, come all. There we go. That was the set. Those were the eyeballs. Girl in the mirror. Good evening. A short live stream tonight. I've got an appointment tomorrow, and I don't want to miss it, even though it's at noon. How are you? Kamusta? Kamusta ka na? Dizzy. What's up, Dizzy? Yo, what's up? Desi Arnaz Jr. You're probably too young for that. MG. You know, that's almost my initials, MG. Well, you can call me Mr. Gary. How are you? MGJ. You love me. What? Where are you guys and gals coming from? MJ are your initials. You are the best man, is he? 20 eyeballs. Come in. Look at that. I got 20 sets of eyeballs. Come in, everybody. Start flooding the room with comments. I dare you. Let me see it. 20. If I see 20 comments, that will blow the doors off the room. Thank you, MG. Yeah, leave a comment. Oh, you already did. The thumbs up as well. The bell icon. Don't forget that. I'll be on Friday night. Same time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As you were. Better yet, here's a better way of putting that, Desi, is love the people that hate you. Probably old enough to be your father, is he? How old are you? Take a guess. How about that? You can take a guess. 6 people. Well, it went from 20 eyeballs down to 6. Thank you very much. MG. MGJ, good night. Oh, why? Thank you. No, my children are in their 30s and going to be, my eldest will be 40 in November. BCNE, do Jello to you play Roblox? Do I play Roblox? Is that what you meant to say? Hello? No. I'm actually doing this live stream on the Xbox. or through the Xbox. How about that? Through the browser on the smart TV, using the Xbox to access the browser, etc. No, I don't. No, my son does. And other war strategy games, etc. BCNE, what does that stand for? Change the B to a A, you got Acme. Your guess was 32. You can almost double that, and you'll be a lot closer. Colton Bats. What's up, KB? Dizzy. You mean anyone would love to be my child, right? Is that what you're saying? Engineer Ibrahim. What's up, brother? Welcome back. No, I don't play any games on Xbox. I just use it to watch YouTube, access the internet. Sometimes we watch movies through other apps. Where are you guys in this world? What country? I'm going to bed at midnight. I have to wake up and get my car in for installation, a trailer hitch installation. Bush Camp Dad, no. Has he got a YouTube channel? Sounds like it. I watch Outdoor Boys. You watch that channel? A little plug there for his channel. Bolton. Yeah, I watch Outdoor Boys. He puts out some pretty impressive shorts, videos. Well, more than shorts, but I mean short format. Who is my favorite YouTuber? Oh, there's quite a few. I like the reality interview format YouTube channels. Ex-military, a couple of Navy SEALs have some incredible. John Ryan puts out a great channel. I like, again, Outdoor Boys. That's just for family entertainment, which is awesome. There's survival, some of the survival winners who now have YouTube channels. Watch them. I got the background, as you see, so you can't really see, you know, the house behind me. So I'm gonna keep my family off camera. He's 19. He's my youngest. Well, you know what? I'm gonna make. I didn't make any coffee. Hold on a second. Let me step away from the camera for a second. Let me push the button on this this coffee machine and get that going, and I'll be right back. Again, guys, I'll be on until midnight. That's Eastern Standard Time here in the United States. It is now 10:10 p.m. or 22:10, 24-hour format, and I'll be on till 0000 or midnight, 0000. Right? That's when a day starts, midnight. So on a 24-hour clock, it starts at 0. And then 1 o'clock in the morning is 1, 0100, 0200, 0300, etc. What does my son do? He's a student, if that's what you're asking. BCNE. He's a college student, second year. He's pursuing a physician assistant, bachelor's degree in, I guess that would be in science. Yeah. Like a BSN. Or a BS, right? BS, yeah, BS, is that what that would be? Okay, the coffee machine is waiting for me to push the button one more time. I gotta fill this cup up, so I push it twice. It's a Keurig, and I'm drinking a Black Rifle coffee. Let me show you the, this is the Keurig cartridge. It's a Beyond Black BB. Game Parker. So yeah, that's a, speaking of the military, it's a military-owned company in Utah, I believe. 5 people in the house. Come in, everyone. Come in. I've only got 2 hours. Help me fill the channel until midnight. The more the better. Come in. You guys haven't said, where are you guys? What country? USA, Canada, Europe, Asia? Where are you from? I'm on the East Coast, 2 hours south of New York City, in the state of New Jersey. How about you? Okay, I just filled up the water. Let me put some creamer in the coffee. Hey, tell everybody to stay put. Tell them I just went to make coffee. I'm over here at the coffee machine. Give me a moment. Okay? I got the creamer in. I got a pack of Splenda. That's my sweetener. By the way, did you know Splenda is sugar? They started with sugar, and then they took out the calories. That's all they did. Don't let people tell you otherwise. Now, the other substitutes like the pink and the blue packages, those are all made in a laboratory. Those are man-made. But Splenda, they started with sugar. And then the scientists took the calories out, and they come up with sucralose, which is Splenda. Okay? So if you want something natural, sweetener, other than stevia and others, go with the yellow pack. That's sucralose. It started as sugar, and they just took out the calories. Sucra is sugar. Sucralose. Okay. So, and it's recommended by a cardiologist, a heart doctor. So, can't go wrong. You got a doc that studies your heart, recommending it, so I'm all for it, having been in the medical field myself. Do I know how to cook? What are you going to eat? Wait, I got a few. Oh, you're in the Great Plains, Colton. Cool. My son is in Wichita, Kansas. Are you close? Josh, I sent. There he is. Hey, Josh, I'm on for just 2 hours tonight till midnight. I got a commitment tomorrow with my car. I'm going to get the trailer hitch put on. Speaking of, if I could get over to your garage, I'd have you guys do it for me. I just showed you, didn't I? BSNE? It's the Black Rifle Beyond Black Dark Roast. Beyond Black, they really good, at least with creamer. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't make it over to your shop. Although, you know what? Um, I mean, nothing's. You know the expression, a hard job, and easy jobs, in the garage. Well, according to my research, this trailer hitch isn't one of the easiest. It's a time-consuming model to put this hitch on, just because of the disassembly and reassembly that you have to do, and removing parts and more parts just to get to the mounting brackets for this hitch. So when I saw that, I said, I'm gonna pay the money for someone else to do it. No, you couldn't have, Doc. I mean, Josh. No, I already looked at the disassembly, and you got to rip off the bumper. You got to take off the bumper. There's another bracket behind the bumper, that you got to disassemble, and then behind that there's something else that needs to come off, and then there's a lot of just removing and getting things out of the way. It's like you got to disassemble 3 different assemblies just to get everything out of the way to get up underneath to reach the holes that apparently not every third-party bracket lines up perfectly. And I heard one review say, I had to enlarge the hole a bit. And I'm thinking, okay, all right, I'm already convinced I don't want to do this. Well, that's a good point. You get 3 workers on it. I've seen some pretty impressive installs on my own car. This one garage that I take it to, his name's Bob, and he's got guys there. And when they all 3 tackle it at the same time, they can get. I've left his shop. I just drop it off, and there's I told you about a Wawa, here in New Jersey. There's a Wawa, like a 20-minute walk. So that's what I do when I drop it off. I'll just walk to the Wawa. So it takes a good 45 minutes to go there and back. Walking. Okay, call it an hour, after you spend time inside the place and get your stuff. And then eat it, drink it, and then come back. And within that walk to get there, and on the way back, I get a phone call saying, "Hey Gary, car's done." And I went, "What?" It's like you told me, give me a couple hours, and he does it within 30 minutes. And I'm like, holy moly. Oh, Wawa, Marty? There he is. Yeah, it's a convenience store, Marty, but it's on steroids. I'm telling you, I'm from the West Coast, where 7-Eleven is rampant, and other Fast Marts. I think that's the name of one. Quick Mart, Fast Mart. There's other names, but they're just small convenience stores. Well, this Wawa is a convenience store on steroids. It's got a deli inside with like 5 touchscreen order screens. 5 people can go up at to monitors at once and place your order, and then get the ticket and go pay for your items, and then come back and wait for your order. And as well as a coffee island, and then a sandwich island with fruits and packaged, to-go items, pickles, cottage cheese, mango, pineapple, strawberries, grapes. They've got fresh fruit, I think bananas on a stand, a couple of those stands around, and then it's got all the convenient shelves, with all the dry products, of course. in the back, and then it's got the cooler section with all the drinks and, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That most, but this thing's, and then it's got a mega, call it, gas station pump, you know, with an elevated 30-foot high metal roof with the pillars and all the gas pumps. I think they got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a total of 15 pumps. No kidding, no exaggeration. There's like 5 on, let's say there's 2 on each side, but there's 3 on each aisle. Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 aisles to pull up to, and each one has 3 pumps. So 5 times 3 is 15 pumps for cars to simultaneously get gas. Whoa, they're building them in Kentucky. Dude, I'm telling you, I always said when I found them back here for the first time, I thought, why aren't these nationwide? The West Coast would go rampant with these things. It would be, they're even, the other competitor here that has started building, turn that music down a bit, is good old Royal Farms. I've heard of Royal Farms before, way before Wawa. And Royal Farms is starting to pop up and kind of be a competitor for Wawa, but there's no replacement for Wawa back here. I mean, they've got not a monopoly, but that in so many words, they're that popular and that good. Matter of fact, they just had their 60th birthday this year. And I went, whoa, that means they've been around since 1960? 64, right? 60 years? No, yeah, 60 years. I was 2 years old. And I'm like, I've never heard of Wawa. So yeah. Marty, thanks for coming back, young man. Really. It's really cool to see your name. I literally live my past through you, hearing your story and where I met you when you were in the Philippines and where you had been before that in Australia at your age. It's like, that's what I did when I was your age. I took off at 24. I was thinking about that just the other day. How old was I when I went to Nepal? It was 1986. I was 24. Yeah, 24 years old. Decided to fly solo from Bangkok, Thailand to Kathmandu, Nepal. I told you I was with my spouse at the time in Thailand, meeting her family. You just ripped out a semi-truck engine. In 19 minutes, me and my 3 best work, they're the reason why I'm successful with my shop. Well, and I have to ask, and I know your answer already, is what's your return rate? You know, I don't know if you know that, but obviously you guys are doing good work, or you wouldn't be successful and have your reputation. But now that I've done some, I know you know this already, Josh, but now that I did my first rodeo with turbocharging, a car, and the modifications and all that, that went with it, and the frustration and the patience and all the rest. Now I'm, you are your best critic when it comes to, somebody else's work. And then when you get it back, and you start doing your own assessment, you're super, how car shops are. One guy gets upset when I go somewhere else to get a second or third opinion, or just to get someone else to do a job for me. And then when I bring it to him, he notices right away, you didn't bring this here for that, did you? And I'm like, no. He said, what'd you do that for? I can tell. one of the bolts is missing, or they stripped this bolt, or it's like becomes his baby, and I took it away from him to let someone else do it. But there's a reason for that, and that brings up my point about shops. Is you become your worst enemy when it comes to critiquing somebody else's work. Yeah, very low. I figured that was the answer, because you wouldn't be successful as if it was the other way around. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And that's exactly what I was saying. Word travels. And it does. I mean, look, I'm telling you the story. That's exactly why I brought my car to somebody else. It's because I just wasn't, I was starting to see kind of a trend. Well, there's other reasons behind why I brought it to someone else. We won't go there. But yeah, it's reputation and what you observe, and whether it's work or attitude. That was actually, and I won't, like I said, won't go into detail, but I was starting to notice kind of a repetition in his however you want to politically say it, politically correct. And I was getting kind of frustrated and decided, you know what, I don't want to deal with this anymore. So deal with him, even though I've been bringing it to him for years. It's like, okay. But that goes along the lines of what you just said. Word travels. It does. That's business, right? It's business. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Yeah, if you can make the money through volume, and beat the prices of the competitors, then you're going to be flooded with the better price and better work on top of that. I mean, you can't beat that. That was this guy. He was a Mitsubishi mechanic, working for a Mitsubishi at the time, 30 years ago. And then he branched off and went to business on his own, and he became successful. But he was running into some issues, and workers, he was hurting for workers, and the turnover rate I was noticing. He was starting to, that was his biggest problem, was maintaining employees. And then, it was kind of, he's hurting. I mean, not only business-wise, but physically, he's hurting. He's got some issues. I said I wasn't going to go into details, but he is, and, it's unfortunate, but so I stopped. He was doing things pretty much, he'd look at the work or hear the work, look at the car, and he knew what my car was. I'd say, hey, I can't get to the motor mount in the back. My fingers aren't small enough, or I don't want to, it's just too much. I don't have a lift. I can't get under there, as easy as you can. Can you do that for me? Yeah, give me $70. And a job that he thought it was only gonna take him an hour to do, turned out, or 30 minutes to do, ended up taking him over 2 hours, and he was so frustrated. It was just, he didn't anticipate having the issue, and he apologized, but he still only charged me $70. Yeah, give me $70. Yeah, you told me. The old timers from back in the 80s, 90s. And their sons now work for you. Whoa, that's cool. Aw. And of course you take care of them, obviously, or they wouldn't be working for you. Well, that's cool. Well, what are the chances that you're going to open up a second shop? I know you've been talking about it. You've probably been talking about it for a while. Or maybe not, but sometimes that can be a pain in the butt to pull the trigger on something like that, right? So, are you still there, Marty? Sorry. Oh, Mui. Or is that Maui? No, Mui. I didn't see you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ignore you. I hope you're still there. It looks like only one person is in the house, it says. So, Marty, are you busy? Talk to me some more about your last week in the Philippines. Anything new or interesting pop up while you were there? Did you go or see anything that was different, interesting, worth any campfire story that you want to share about the Philippines? Whoa, that's cool. Look at that. Oh, so you did already. You just bought a location 2 miles away, a warehouse. Wow. Busy, busy. There we go. Marty, are you still there? BCNE. Oh, what is your what was your favorite toy when you were a kid? BCNE must be in a foreign country. But even though his English is, a broken, I can kind of read between the lines as far as what question he's asking. What? 56,000 square feet? Holy moly. A DeLorean? What? You built a time machine out of a DeLorean? What's up, Billy? What's Wayne? Mr. Preston? Hey, on that note, Billy, listen. Funny you asked me, Doc, you built a time machine out of a DeLorean. When I was in California, probably it was 2000. It was when I was back there between, let's see, what year was that? Between 2007 and 2011, I believe in that 4 years, we ended up going to Universal Studios up in Los Angeles. I think we did Disneyland and Universal Studios. And if you've ever been to a Universal Studios, it was my first time. They have, theme park rides like Jurassic Park, Jaws. At the time, they had Star Trek and Back to the Future. And Star Trek and Back to the Future was an indoor, inside of a building presentation, stage presentation with actors and actresses, with special effects. And you sat in the audience like in a 180-degree theater and looked up at the performance up on stage. Well, both of those, not call them rides, those presentations, Star Trek and Back to the Future, was an audience participation. Not audience participation, but they would, while you were standing outside in line waiting to get in, one of the representatives of the park would get everybody's attention. Can I have everybody's attention? Of course, everybody's focusing forward. He says, we need 5 volunteers. These volunteers will be participating in the performance tonight. If you, I think the one said, I was standing in line for actually both of them, and one after the other, or throughout the day. And everybody, those that are willing, raise their hands, and then he randomly points out 5 people, and then he's like, follow me. And you are actors and actresses in these performances, and they give you script cards. They ask you to memorize the verses the best you can. Hold on, Falco. And they give you uniforms. They dress you for the performance. And I participated in both Star Trek and Back to the Future. And I got to be Doc, up at the, you remember the clock? That was Big Ben, I think the Big Ben clock, where he's up there trying to change the hands on the clock. At midnight it struck 12, and then the lightning, I forget the scene. The lightning bolt comes and zaps him, and he gets electrocuted. Well, I was Doc, and I was up on a second deck of this stage apparatus, and I was in front of a clock, and I had a smock on, and I had a wig. I was Doc, and they pose you. They literally are posing you like on the clock, like you're reaching up, but they have these ropes or wrist ropes around your wrist so that you don't fall, and on both wrists, so that you're literally like tied in up against this apparatus, up against the clock, in a pose. And then you're just up there like in the dark. Nobody can see you until the spotlight shows on you, and then the sound effects and the lightning, and then all of a sudden after the lightning goes off within a second and it illuminates you in that pose, the whole stage goes whoop, and spins around 180 degrees, and you're like, whoa! You spin around. Now you're out of sight of the audience, and you're backstage, and there's another facade on the other side that shows Doc fried with his hair, smoking, which is just a dummy. And I'm in the back, and there's people in the back assisting you, and they're taking the ropes off your wrist, and they're like, follow me. And they grab a hold of you, and they guide you down the steps, and you go down steps real quick. And you take off your uniform. And that was my part in Back to the Future. Yeah. So I did that for Back to the Future. And then in Star Trek, my ex wife, I believe she ended up with it was a VHS tape back in that day, with VHS tapes, VCR tapes. Um, she had the copy, and I never asked for it or whatever. I don't know if it's still around or not, but it was a recording that you could purchase afterwards, and I had both of them. In Star Trek, I was part of a landing party where we got what's the word? Not transformed, but help me out, Doc. I mean, Josh. I call you Doc. Hi, ironic. I just realized my role in Back to the Future was Doc, and look at my name now. In the transporter room, I got transported I got beamed from the transporter down to a alien planet, and there was 3 of us, and I'm the one that had the role. I had the speech, and I can remember it to this day. It was perfect. I had on the Star Trek shirt, the gold or whatever color that with the collar, the silver trim on the collar, and the Star Trek emblem right here, and I had a transporter, and it was on my belt clip, and it opened up like a flip phone, but it was just a prop, and I could flip it open. It would flip open, and my line was, "Everything looks clear down here, Captain. No signs of life anywhere." That's it. And they had the actual TV camera come right up on me, like within 2 feet of my face, and the guy behind it, and he comes right up on me, and they like give you a cue, like now, and I said, everything looks clear down here, Cap. I had to flip open the transporter, everything looks clear down here, Captain. Wait, everything looks clear down here, Captain. No signs of life anywhere. So, no, they didn't have elf ears. No, that was Spock. But I was just part of the landing party, and the 3 guys were like, there was one here behind me at this shoulder, and the other one was either beside him or on the other side of my other shoulder, and we're all like looking around, looking out for aliens. Everything looks clear down here, Captain. No signs of life anywhere. So yeah, I got to I remember standing in line, and the guy asked we need somebody with a loud voice, and I at the top of my lungs, I screamed, "Whoa!" And he goes, "Who was that?" And everyone turned around pointing at me. He's like, "Follow me." Like, yes, it worked. And then, like I said, there was another scene in the middle where on this alien planet we encountered some aliens, and we had these granite rocks that we were throwing at each other, and they were just made of styrofoam. But that didn't require any lines. Of course, it was comical as well, because we're not trained actors, and everybody's just kind of ad-libbing. Sometimes they forgot their lines, and then they had, a collage of all the scenes at the end, put together, edited together into a movie, and then you could purchase it for a nominal fee. It's probably like $30, for a VCR tape. Oh, back to your question here, Falco. In my life, why do I give valuable time to people who don't care if I live or die? Well, here I can answer that from a biblical standpoint, and it's a great answer, I think, because it ain't my words, is why would you give your valuable time to people who don't care if I live or die? To tell them why it's important to know what's going to happen to their soul when they take their last breath. That's the willing, sacrificial giving of oneself for the benefit of another to these people that don't care, with no thought of return. Remember that? Yeah, I had one in my 1974 Ford Mercury Capri. Remember those, Josh? Manual, 6-speed. Was it 6-speed or 5-speed with reverse? I think it was. Yeah, manual. And I had a differential that was shot, and it was whining and vibrating. And unfortunately, I didn't know what I was doing with engines, or just starting to learn to delve into cars when I started, getting my license and buying my first car. That was one of my first cars. 74 Capri. Yep, I remember listening to Foreigner and all the other tapes that we had. Yep. Yeah, VCR. My mom would be listening to all her favorite crooners when I got home from school. Elvis and the Platters and Freddie Fender and who's the Silver Fox again? That's Charlie Rich, and so on. Yeah, those were some of her favorites. Attract kids nowadays would look at us like we're stupid, but those days were much simpler and fun. Yeah. I don't know about you. You grew up an era after me, but one of the favorite things for the kids to do was before dinner time was to go out in the street and play football, telephone pole to telephone pole. Out in the middle of the city, or the block, on my street. That was the favorite, thing to go do. The neighbor kid down the street and other neighbor kids, and then us would all get together and form teams, right? Gosh. I think we were in a little bit better shape than most of the kids these days. Marty, you must be busy. Bro, that 56,000 square foot warehouse sounds like this family here in town. They not only have a like a semi truck repair or big vehicle repair shop, but they do large vehicles, buses, semis, ambulances, the larger vehicles. And they also have a regular shop for regular sized vehicles. And the name of their family business is they that warehouse that they do the big trucks in, and they do RVs, etc., for the clearance and so on. And so that's what it sounds like you just bought. That's what they're operating out of, a big warehouse converted. And they also have a family restaurant right here down the street from my house. I actually can walk there. my wife and I have, and my son have walked there as a nice afternoon walk to go down. It's called Purdy's, Purdy. They got Purdy's Diner, Purdy's Auto Repair, and another quite successful. Couldn't come back until the streetlights came on. There you go. And the garden hose. Oh my gosh, Josh. Gosh. Remember going to people's houses if you were thirsty, looking for spigots on the side of people's houses so you could get a drink? Put your mouth right up against the, right? Turn the faucet on. Walking out in the hot streets in your bare feet during the summertime, seeing who could stay on the street the longest. Gosh. Yeah, I have all the MP school bus, contracts. That's it. That's what this family does. I should I'll shoot a picture next time I'm down there. It's not too far, about a mile down the road. And I'll shoot a picture and put it up here next time. I'll show you the and maybe I'll get a picture of the restaurant. Their restaurant, Purdy's Diner, they did a pretty nifty idea that is in process to this day. Is they rented or own, I don't know, whatever they did, probably own it. The shop or the room at the bottom of this apartment complex, it's a housing or dorms for the state college that I go fishing at, the one I'm always mentioning. It's called Stockton College. It's a state college. Part of their dorms are located right down the street from me. And it's like I don't know, 30 room dorm building, 2 levels. And at the bottom, on the bottom deck in one of the office spaces is their diner, their Purdy's Diner. That diner they actually have an app that the kids download, and they can place their orders before school, lunchtime, night classes, for dinner, whenever. Well, they're open till 8 p.m. And they were telling me the hallway downstairs, coming downstairs from the upper deck, actually comes right through the diner. So they can place their order and have breakfast ready for them before they head out to the school, get in their car and drive to school. It was a pretty cool gig that they were able to create for the students, and of course for the general public to come in and sit down. And they've got a few tables inside to sit down and have breakfast, lunch. Oh, Jeff! Sorry, brother. I don't know what's going on over there, man, but you Yanks need to get we have no idea what the MO is here other than keep the peace. Yeah, well, don't listen too much on the news there, Jeff. Again, there's 374 million people, or 364, whatever the population is. That's 364 with 6 zeros after it in the United States. Not every American is experiencing what you see on the media. Not near. The news only covers. But on that note, yeah, some pretty death-related happenings over here in the United States, huh? At least on the media. Whether it's the presidential race or if it's idiots from south of the border uh, trying to raid or um, somebody's hotel room in Aurora, Colorado. The heck? Or if it's women's competing in, or men competing in women's sports, right? Over where you are. What wait. Let me reread what you said here. I don't know what's going on over there, but you Yanks need to get your. We have no idea what the MS there, other than keep the peace. One side just wants to live their lives while the other side wants death. And your uppers are telling us we are here on a. Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. Wherever you are, I gotcha. Well, yeah, Jeff, as you know, it's not up to it's not up to you and us to figure out what's going on. We signed up for it. You got a job to do, and that's what your job is, right? Um, hurry up and wait. Uh, Fubar. Wait. Snafu. That's better. Situation normal, all effed up. I guess that would be the best way of describing, right? What you guys go through. You volunteered to head out to Israel and asked, oh my gosh. Well, I wouldn't want to be there. Sorry. Yeah, I got you, Jeff. And all I hear is we're waiting on the U.S. Well, that makes sense. You're closer than we are, so you're going to get there first, and then you got to wait. So I got to ask, Jeff, how are you able to communicate right now? Yeah, at the beach. As long as Joe Biden is. Tell somebody to kick him in the head and wake him up. Oh, are you really? Um, One another aspect of Iraq, I didn't get a chance to, again, to I didn't get to go out in the field with the guys and go on, and be a corpsman out in the field. And h- had I did it, if I did it again, I was younger. Um, I would have signed up for something like that. That would have been a lot better than staying in one spot, on a map for 7 months. At least you get to move. But anyways, I remember them having access to whether it was Starlink or I don't know if it was Starlink or not at the time, but satellite in order to communicate, surf the web if they could. Up, there goes my battery. Only 1 hour. Why did that happen? I must have used this battery the past couple days because I only got an hour, exactly 1 hour out of it. So I must have burned it the other day and left it in the camera. So, all right, fresh battery coming up right here. Elon, there you go. That's what Starlink is, isn't it? Yeah, that did you hear about, the crisis we had with the hurricanes, Jeff, in South Carolina, North Carolina, and now Florida? Hold on a second, I gotta focus on my hand here. Yeah, the first hurricane, is it Helena, that devastated the Carolinas. They had a call out for, I guess the governor, was it the governor? Or somebody was asking for Starlink. And within the, what was the, didn't Trump talk about it? Was it Trump that told that story? Maybe Trump got a message that they needed communication in the Carolinas, and he made a phone call. Maybe I'm combining stories. He made a phone call to Elon to ask him if he could help out. And before he was even done with the conversation with Elon Musk, the party that was requesting the help had already gotten access to Starlink in the phone call, in the time of the phone call from Elon Musk. And he said, don't worry about the cost. We'll figure out how we're gonna reimburse, how I'm gonna get reimbursed later. But here it is for now. Whether or not he's even gonna charge them. Gosh, that focus doesn't want to stay. There we go. Something like that. Oh, you have family in Florida. Okay. Yeah, so you heard about that? After I heard that conversation, I went online and went to his Starlink website and checked it out. Starlink it's expensive, relatively, but not like crazy expensive compared to the internet service providers that we use here in the US. It's like $200 for per month, which I know there's cheaper, but paying $60 per line or $40 per line a month is not unheard of, with some internet service providers, and they have package deals and so on. But I'm just saying in general, if you're already paying $60 a month for one line and maybe 120 for two, then $200 is not like that much crazy more expensive than. And they come out, and you get a Starlink panel mounted on your roof or wherever, and the coverage, I saw the coverage area, and it puts the other internet service providers to shame worldwide, even not only the USA. Oh, Elon for world leader? No, he's got enough on his plate. He's got quite a bit of other visions than. I was listening to Trump here more, just more of his his own mouth speaking, not what others say. For all I can, I avoid what others say about Trump. Don't even want to hear it. Just listening to him and the other interviews, the most recent interviews he's been doing with other people. And the more you listen to the guy, it's just, again, if only I could think like Trump. From a world standpoint, he is so far ahead of. He was on a talk show, a guy, YouTuber, who's got a pretty successful. He's a comedian. He's got like 2 or 3 other guys on his panel that are also comedians. Forget his name. He's got like a. Forget what his background is. I want to say it's like, I forget, but his family is from a foreign country, came to America, successful, after coming to America, and now I wish I could remember his name, doing well as a comedian. He had Trump on, interviewing Trump, and one of the comedians said, or no, it was him, the actual host. Trump was talking about, how USA is in turmoil in the different areas, and he started listing off, those repetitive areas that he talks about in his speeches. The host was saying, but America's still a great country. I mean, America's still it's like he was trying to just remind Trump, you're saying America's, hurting and yada yada yada. But he said, but in reality, America's still a great country, and then he gave an example of his family coming from a foreign country and not having, what America had to offer, and coming to America and, the land of the free and opportunity, and using that to become what they are today, and then passing that on to him. And he holds USA dear to that because of that. And Trump was like talking at the same time and saying, but don't lose focus. I'm telling you, he says, don't put your blinders on. And I was listening, he's like, got my attention, and I was thinking, wait, what's Trump have to say? And I was listening to him, and he's so far ahead in the big picture, world big picture, that this host wasn't seeing. And he was like quickly, just reminding him, don't lose focus. When you say that, don't put your blinders on when you say that. And so you could see his face like, huh? Like, okay, I got my ears back on. What are you saying? And when you listen to Trump, he's not just talking about make America great again. He's talking not just making America great again for U.S. citizens, but making America great again in the eyes of the world. And when you make America great again in the eyes of the world, the USA gets respect. And he talks about respect from a foreign country standpoint, looking at America. Like what Jeff is saying, I don't know what's going on over there, but we're experiencing this and saying we're waiting for the USA. Well, everybody's got their focus on the USA. The world has their eyes on the USA. And when the USA is hurting, whether it's the media saying that or for real, everybody's got their eyes and their ears on, listening to what's going on in the USA. And when the USA has got respect in the eyes of foreigners, the world does better. The foreign countries prosper. It's like a stock market. when the USA stock is doing well, the world does well. And so it's right. The world needs a strong America. That's what Trump was saying. And you know what? That's what captured my attention 8 years ago. For the first time in my life, somebody finally got my attention and made me listen to a presidential election. And I'm embarrassed to say that all my life, I never voted until Trump came into view. And he said something, and it got my attention, and I'm like, whoa, this guy's saying something that made sense to me, and I wanted to hear more. I gotta listen to him now. What is he saying? And it started opening my eyes, and I thought, I know who I'm voting for. You know, when he was putting his foot in his mouth all that first 4 years there during his campaign, and everybody was cringing and biting their fingernails, including me, when he would, say things off the cuff. And I'm like, oh no, he didn't say that. He didn't just say that. I was even saying that about him, like, oh my gosh, he didn't do that again. He didn't say that. And then finally somebody must have reminded him, we need to start going on cue cards. You need to start writing your speeches and at least have a format to stay on track. And that's when he started doing that. Then he started sounding like Abraham Lincoln, and I was just in awe. And I realized, you know what? He writes all of his own speeches, and they're, you may disagree with me, but he's a modern day Abraham Lincoln. And then when you look at his ability to change the world, OMG. Yep. Yeah, well, Jeff, I mean, you're just supporting what I'm saying, and I heard that in Trump in that interview. Just that. And that's what he was trying to tell the host. Don't put your blinders on, don't lose your focus. He was already 3 steps ahead of. And it's amazing that he can see that. And it's unique, God-given, that somebody has the ability to see that. And I'm, that's above my pay grade, and I need somebody that knows what they're doing as far as that goes. And I want to watch. I can't wait. God forbid he doesn't become president, but if he does, I am in for the ride. I want to see. I'm going to sit there and just watch and listen, and watch things change. Not just here in the US, but in the world. I'm really interested into just seeing him operate. I haven't seen anything like that before, and I don't think many people have either. That's what he even says, and people think he's full of himself. Well, maybe he is, but he's able to get the job done. When he said, nobody's ever seen what I've done before. Nobody's been able to do what I did in 2 days. Nobody's ever, and he's exactly right. He's like talking the truth. And the results show. And I just said, man, I put your seatbelt on. This guy's just getting started. Well, that comment right there, Jeff, it's like emotional to hear that. And I've never felt that way until recently in my life, where when people say things like that and realizing where I'm at and that I'm part of that, and it's like, you're pulling at the heartstrings, your heart's kind of going like this, going, what, we're talking about a foreign country that doesn't live here saying things like what you said. And you take on at least I hope people would understand that and take on a different role in who they are, when they represent America, when they go out of the country, or when people come to our country, and they talk about it and they say things like that. I don't think many Americans, or too many Americans, think that way. Maybe there's more than there probably is more than I imagine, but anyhow, Jeff, Doc, gotta go out. All right, brother, you stay safe. And yeah, how cool. Well, I wish I could actually be around people like you and be able to be a corpsman at your side. Yeah, it'd be cool. Oh, that's cool. Jeff, I mean, Josh, are you hearing Jeff speak? Dude, if you, man, you're making us homesick. Oh, that's cool. That's way cool. Well, I really don't know who you are, Jeff, but thanks for the good words. And get home safe. That's right. Yeah, just call me Doc, Jeff. Or even Corman works. Oh, that's so cool. What kind of vehicle are you in, Jeff? Or are you in I take it you're in a vehicle using the, or maybe you're not. Sorry. I'm just assuming. That's cool. Great words, Jeff. Tell the rest of the guys Doc said hello. Although you guys are above my pay grade. At least I consider you guys to be. That's a compliment. That's awesome. See you, Josh, as well. I just scrolled back. Sorry about that, Josh. You said good night as well. I kind of get you, and because you both start with a J, I got to realize who's saying what. Anybody else? Still, I got 6 set of eyeballs. No, 0. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought that was a 6. It says 0. Anybody still here? Are you still here, girl in the mirror? I love it. This is perfect right here. Blast from the past. Yeah, we had to be in 5 minutes before 5. Don't be late. Or we had to answer to our dad. Yep. Wow, what a cool um, exchange of a cool exchange from Jeff. Colton Outdoors. I'm back. Okay, yeah, I was trying to figure that out. I am Knack. What's up, Colton? Now wait a minute, Colton. Did your are you the son of your I was going to say, are you the son of your dad? Duh. I mean, your profile picture. Are you the one that had that picture before of you and your dad? Or you're not that person? It's like I recognize your Colton Outdoors, but your profile picture is different if that is you. No, that's not you. Okay, okay. Yeah, there's another younger guy and his dad in the same profile picture. And I almost want to say it's like a similar username. Maybe it's not. I'm confused. But good to see you, Colton. Have you been here before? If not, welcome. Hey, if you want to see a cool exchange of conversation, just scroll up a bit, about 10. That whole exchange between Jeff Sasso. He was actually communicating via Starlink over in Europe with the British Special Forces. And it was kind of a cool exchange while he was working, and he had some downtime to express himself and talk briefly about world events. And then he said this, which was something you only see on the news or out of a movie. That is wild. That's cool. And this one, on his way out, he shared that with me. Where are you, Colton? What part of the world are you coming from? Illinois. We have a family in Romeoville, up there an hour south of Chicago. Let me zoom in a little bit more here. For some reason I kind of got a little distant. Focus my hand here real quick. Come on. Focus. What's going on? I think that maybe a little better. And I actually had a girlfriend in high school from what is it, near Peoria? What was the actual ville that she lived in? Oh, you are. Um, I remember when I went over to her house after school, her dad had or mom had a map of the hometown that she's from there in Illinois. What was it again? It was, God, of all things, I need to get rid of this background and I'll be able to focus a little bit better. Trying to remember what was the name of her town. It was Peoria, and I'll think of it. And I have relatives, my own family. My wife's uncle lives in Romeoville, and I have family in. Don't know if you even ever heard of it. It's a If you look online, I had somebody look for me. It had a population of 109 or 116, something around there. Yeah, the happening town of Brussels, Illinois. You have to Google it. No, the name of the place my high school girlfriend's family is from. I'll think of it. I think it's a Ville, something Ville. I might be mistaken, but it's near Peoria. I think. What's the name of her town? It was on the map. I remember seeing it. It was behind, it was framed behind glass on our wall. It was Granville? No. Again, it might not even be a Ville, but that's stuck in my head for some reason. Yeah, it's probably not a Ville. That's next to it. Yeah, so anyhow, yeah, my dad's uh they've since died, my uncle and my aunt, but their family is still there in Brussels, Illinois. Yeah, I remember taking the ferry, traveling with my family back in the day, from San Diego to New York, and we would visit all the tourist spots along the way, and then our family there in we'd travel through Missouri and get on the ferry, and then take the car across over to the other side of the Mississippi, and then on the other side, actually, I did it myself here, going the other direction from Illinois back across to Missouri, and then continued on to San Diego. I was traveling across to see my dad. I'm in New Jersey now, and I did a grand transcontinental trip from Ottawa, Canada, all the way down to San Diego. That actually, I don't know if that was the time I went through Illinois, Missouri, because I was kind of doing the north route that time, down into Kansas, from Michigan down into Kansas, out of Canada through Michigan, and then saw my son in Kansas, and ended up kind of going the diagonal through the Colorado Springs, Gunnison Canyon, and then Utah, Nevada, down into California. Um, Yeah, I'm still stuck on that place in Illinois. Oh, if you didn't already, Colton, hit the like button. That helps distribute my channel, my channel in front of more people. On the uh, when they're on their recommendation list, as they scroll through this vertical format that I'm using right now, it'll pop up in front of more people. The more thumbs up, like I get. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Mr. Cole. How many do you see right now? What is it up to? I don't have that on this screen. I'm using a StreamYard live stream platform. I misspelled. Did you notice that? Look at my title. I'm gonna correct it right now. I was just rechecking myself, and sure enough, I misspelled night, N-I-G-H. I'm anal when it comes to proper spelling and punctuation. There we go. Wednesday night live. Hello. I was in a hurry, trying to beat the 10 o'clock deadline. That was when I started, or very close to 10 o'clock. I was actually going to skip tonight, and I was doing a quick recording apologizing for not live streaming tonight because I have an appointment tomorrow. It's not too early, but I just didn't want to. I'm usually waking up by the time, around noon, and that's too late. I got an appointment at noon, so I decided I wasn't going to live stream, and that would enable me to get to bed and wake up earlier. And I wasn't able to get that recording done. I can do it through this live stream platform. Instead of doing a live stream, I can do a recording and then transfer it to YouTube. And that was going to be the message tonight was, I had prior arrangements, but I'll be back on Friday night. And I wasn't able to get, the time was ticking, and it was like 10 minutes to 10, 5 minutes to 10. And I said, okay, I'm not going to make this. So I decided, I know what I'll do. I will go live just for 2 hours till midnight, Eastern Standard Time. That's 25 minutes from now. So that's what, excuse me, that's what I'm going to do. It's just do a short live stream tonight. But thanks for stopping and participating for a little bit. That's cool. That helps. What does it help for? You're probably wondering. What does it help? I'm actually, just for giggles, trying to get monetized. And in order to do that, I need 1,000 subscribers, which I'm already well past that. And I need people watching my videos and or my channel. And to accomplish that, I already mentioned, produce videos and have people watch them. And that time that they spend watching it exponentially adds up, and you start developing watch hours. And those hours are required to be monetized. You need, well, now you can get 3,000 watch hours and get monetized to a point. I won't go into detail. But there's even further perks, we'll call it, if you get 4,000 watch hours. So that's my goal, trying to get 3,000 to 4,000 watch hours. And I'm at like halfway, 1,800 or something. So it's going to be a while. But the amount of time that you spend with me here in live stream is equivalent to sitting back and watching a video of mine. But instead, you're watching a live stream. So not only does the time that you spend in here go towards my watch hours, but everyone else that has been in here. So you see how that kind of exponentially adds up. So if 4 people are in here watching me for 1 hour, that's 4 watch hours. You see, and so that's how that works. Live streaming is a way of accumulating watch hours. Is one way. Another way, obviously, is to produce videos that I'm focusing here, that people will actually sit back and watch, for the entire duration. But videos, how long are YouTube videos at the most? Well, I mean, there's full-length productions, but most people put out shorts and or just short format videos, 5, 10, 20 minutes. So if you sit back and watch a 20-minute video of mine, that's only 20 minutes towards my watch hours. Well, you could spend 20 minutes here watching, talking, chatting with me. And that's equivalent to watching a 20-minute video. If you stay in here an hour, it's like watching an hour video. So yeah, this is easier to get watch hours doing this. Unless you're super popular, YouTuber, and everyone watches, millions of people watch your channel from beginning to end, all your videos, which is not my case. So I have to struggle. Wow, what a, I'll have to copy and paste. Oh, he mentioned Andrew Schultz. I wonder if that's his name. The guy that I was trying to think of. I'm gonna head over to the YouTube channel tab real quick, and I'm gonna stop my camera, but I'm still here. Still hear me. Let me see if I can go over there without, losing the StreamYard tab. Let's see here. Let me look at his name here. He's a comedian. First time I saw him, so I don't remember what his name off the top of my head. History. Here we go. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties, imagine that. Good old Xbox. All right, try my last 15 minutes here without any glitches. See how that goes. Oh, excuse me. Goodness gracious. Biensky. Hey, young lady. How are you, dear? Are you live streaming right now? Mustaka. Good. Galing. Excuse me, I just sneezed and my nose got all stuffy. Are you busy? Mabuti po. Salamat. I am doing better than I deserve every day. I don't think I've met you live. Have I? I haven't been on your stage, or I don't think I've ever been to your live stream. Have I? Tell me about you. And ano ang pangalan mo? Do you use your name on YouTube? Unsa imong pangalan? I forgot what part of the Philippines. I know you told me before. Ah, it is your name, Bien? See, that's the answer for your question. How are you doing today, sir? Bien, bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Tell me again, bien. Ah, Cebu. Did you did you tell me before you were from Cebu? Trying to remember. Did I ask you taga asa ka sa Cebu? Girl in the Mirror. Girl in the Mirror is from Negros Oriental, from Dumaguete, not too far from Santander, Cebu. I know the connection from Sibulan Port to Santander, Cebu. Yeah, I stayed in Moalboal in 2018, and we visited Kawasan Falls, also Cebu City, Magellan Cross, Temple of Leah, Taoist Temple, Sarao Garden, Little Amsterdam, up in the Bukid, and we did the city tour. Oh, you do? Oh, I didn't know that was girl. I was thinking Bien answered that. You have small land in Santander. I didn't know that. Or did you tell me before, girl? Cool. Well, that's not far from your hometown. Oh, to sell it. Yeah. So you've taken you're familiar with that uh, fast craft that goes across the strait from Sibulan to Santander. You've done that before. I take it, Girl in the Mirror. Yeah. Have you ever been over to Bohol? I didn't have time. They were recommending to travel to Bohol, but I only had 4 days, and I had to keep going back to the airport. So yeah, I think I remember you told me a long time ago, but I forgot. You've never been to Bohol, yeah? How about Cagayan de Oro? Have you ever gone that direction? That's a longer. Right, you've not been to Bohol. Now, Cagayan de Oro is a longer, much longer trip, but that was my original plan from Cebu, was go to CDO by Roro. No. Yeah, that's a dream that I'll probably never come true, but who knows? Well, 6 more minutes. I'm going to say good night. What is the sorry, girl, what is the name of your town in Dumaguete? Right, right. Um, what is the name of the community that you live in? There's another, I've met a few other families from Dumaguete, and they told me the name of the area in Dumaguete that they live. I think you said Bayawan. That's it. Bayawan City. Bayawan. Yeah. That's it. That's the same city that this other YouTuber live streamer. There was a I want to say uh there was a mother and daughter. I forget. I don't know what happened to their channel that did a live stream. And that was there. That's where they lived in Bayawan City. Yeah, I'm sure I told you that before. Good memory, good memory. Better than mine. Yeah, mother and daughter. Okay, so I told you that story before. Yeah, I remember the mom was showing me or told me the area, so I looked up on Google Maps or something, and I saw she mentioned there was a lot of farmlands out there, and she was living in the middle of a, more of a provincial kind of setting, not near the city. Isn't there a down at the down at the beach, down at the bottom of Negros Oriental, below, further south of your town? There's a beach resort. I know there's a lot of beach there, a lot of coast, but down at the bottom, seems like there's a resort down there. I started at 10:01. Wow, you're keeping track. I only have 2 more minutes on my clock. 2 more minutes. Alexa, what time is it? Yeah, 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Thank you, Mom, for the reminder. Oh, really? Bayoan has the longest boulevard. What does it travel the whole length of the peninsula down there? The tip of Negros Oriental. 2 more minutes, yeah. When you when you travel down to back to your home in Bayawan from Manila, how do you how do you get there? Do you fly? Yeah, I remember your video. So you fly to where? Is there an airport in Dumaguete? Yeah, where do you fly to? What airport? Is it there in Negros Oriental? Ah, from Manila to Dumaguete. Okay. And then a bus. Right, right, right. Yep. Well, probably the same bus that I took from uh, Bacolod down to Sibulan. The Ceres bus. Yeah, oh, Sibulan Airport. Duh. So there is an airport there in Sibulan. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I remember we ate breakfast at the, in that video I have, the Manila to Cebu, a 3-week journey. Um, you can see Sibulan Port in that video. We're taking the, I think the tricycle into Sibulan from the bus depot into Sibulan. And then we ate lunch near the port, and then we got on the boat and we went to Santander. Yeah, Ceres bus. I've been on that bus. Yeah, it's midnight. That's okay. We can talk a little bit more about the Ceres bus and Sibulan. Have you traveled? Have you been to Bacolod before? Have you been up and down the into Negros Occidental to Bacolod? There's a delay in your typing and my voice, so I have to wait for your comment. I'm asking more questions, girl. Oh, last year. Oh, when you went last year. Oh, I didn't know. So what did you do? You flew to Sibulan and then you took the bus up to Bacolod? Oh, I see. So, yeah, next time you should do the opposite. Don't fly to Dumaguete, but fly to Bacolod, and then take the Ceres bus down to. That way you don't have to go. What's that noise? So after Oh, you did. Then from Bacolod, did you start going back to Manila? Or did you turn around and go back down to Dumaguete? That's a long drive. That's 6 hours. I don't want to do, I don't do 6 hours in a bus. No. I turned that into 2 days. You remember. Yeah, and if you're going to visit next time, Bacolod, fly to Bacolod, and then take the Ceres bus down to Dumaguete. Unless, like I said, if you visit Bacolod, keep going back to Manila. And then you can fly back to Manila. So that would be the other, maybe that's what you did. Did you go home after Bacolod? Or did you go back to Dumaguete? Because that's extra money. That's too much traveling. That's 12 hours on a bus. No way. 6 hours to Bacolod, 6 hours back to Dumaguete. I told you before um, yeah, I only did 3 hours to Cabancalan, and then we stay overnight. That's extra money, but yeah, I didn't want to do 6 hours on my puet, so we stayed in Cabancalan overnight, took a rest, and then we continue to Sibulan. And then Sibulan over to Santander and etc. Moabual, Kawasan Falls. Yeah, I know, 6 hours. Even with the movie, you know. Is that what that is? Kapoy? Is that boring? Yeah, 6 hours. And they stop also. And they pick up people. And they do the sale, you know, the cotton candy, the mani, the chips, the drink, the what is water again? To what is water? Oh, kapoy means tired. Okay, okay, yeah. I know water. How come I can't remember what water is? You know, the vendors that come on the bus and they sell their, you know, they're too big. Thank you, thank you. And boiled eggs. Oh yeah, that's right. Boiled eggs. That's right. Boiled eggs. Those are the bomb, especially when you're hungry. Oh, I remember we got boiled eggs. Yep. Boiled eggs, manit, too big, and use the CR if you can find one. I remember getting off the bus. I had to use the CR, and nothing but like motorcycle repair shop over there, and I'm asking everybody, where's the CR? And nobody's helping me, and I'm making sure I don't miss the bus. And the bus driver's like, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. And I said, okay, just let me use the bathroom. Finally, I found a CR. And then I run back to the bus. And it was raining and it was muddy going back. I thought, great. And the CR wasn't very nice. It was just broken inside the door, hole in the ground. I didn't care. It's like, I gotta go. And then you run back to the bus. Yeah, it was. It was nasty. Lolo that came with me, the 80-year-old, he's 85 now. Um, yeah, gosh, he might be 85 or 86, 85. And I was I was in charge, of his comfort and his safety, his well-being. And I remember, I would go, I would help him find, I'd go with him, or my Pinoy friend would, I would tell him, can you go with Lolo? He'd say, I got it. I got it, Kuya. So he would follow Lolo. Yeah, he's down in Jensen. He's married down in Jensen. I don't contact Lolo, unfortunately. Um, yeah, his new asawa um, wasn't very happy with me, and I did not want to get involved, you know, start arguing with her on text. So I decided to stop communication with uh, Lolo. But I have Lolo's email address. And the last time I messaged Lolo, he responded. But when I was reading his email message, I'm like, this doesn't sound like Lolo. The answers were suspicious. And I thought, okay, I'm looking at the English and it's perfect English. So I thought, okay, this isn't his asawa, because I would notice mistakes, in the spelling or the grammar. So I thought, now this is somebody that speaks English. Yeah. So I started suspecting maybe his family, his daughters here in America, have his sign-in information, and they are monitoring his emails. I don't know this. It may be false, but that's what I suspect. So I decided to stop communication with emails also. When I read his answer and I was suspicious, I said, how did you know about, I questioned him about, the subject, the information I was reading. And his answer was, he saw my asawa's post on Facebook. I asked him, how did you know that? And he said, your wife posted a picture on Facebook. Well, Lolo doesn't use Facebook. All the years I know Lolo, he doesn't use Facebook. He uses Messenger, the Messenger app, but he doesn't use Facebook. So when this person said, I saw your, oh, my nose, I saw your Asawa's post on Facebook, that's when I went, uh-oh. Lolo doesn't use Facebook. So I decided, I might be talking to his daughter, not Lolo, here in America. So, oh well. But I'm assuming he's okay. I mean, I hope. I hope he's living happily ever after. Yeah. His dream came true. So, of course I do. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that. Yeah, the biggest thing I miss about Lolo, my um he was my partner. He was my dad that I don't have anymore. My dad died in 2017. Uh but he is the same age as my father, born the same year as my father. So he knows the word of God. He knows this better than I do. And we used to just, it was my opportunity to talk openly, about the word of God everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, correct. And I don't get to talk with people about, you know, the word of God openly. Not like Link. We could talk everywhere we went. When we went on fishing trips together, we went to New York. We go to around New Jersey. We go to Pennsylvania. When we go together and we stay at a hotel or Airbnb, went together and we shared the same small room. We slept in the same bed together. You know, him on one side, Lolo on the other side. We wake up in the morning and we cook breakfast together. We eat dinner together. We drink coffee together. Every morning I would go over to his house when Jordan was in school. And after, his house is right across the street from the school, from the church. So I drop my son off at 8:30 in the morning. I walk across the street to his house. Knock, 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 knock. Actually, I don't even knock. He leaves the door open for me. So I go inside his house. I go back to the bedroom. He's still sleeping. And I start singing a song real quietly. I think of a song. And I start singing the song until he wakes up. And he's like, he opens his eyes. Good morning. Good morning. And then he would wake up. Yep. Go in the bathroom, get ready. And I would start my coffee. I even had my Nescafe instant coffee, the bottle, in his cupboard. We bought creamer, coffee, and Splenda, and I put it in his cupboard. Oh, and did I have honey? I think when I had honey. And I would store that in his cupboard. So that was the routine. I go over to his house, wake him up. While he's getting ready, I go in the kitchen and I start making my coffee. And then he comes out. He has, his morning routine. And then we sit down at the table. He drinks, I don't know, um, I think he drinks hot tea. Yeah, usually hot tea. And then we would either talk about, scripture, or we would just talk about general. Sometimes we would talk about his girl in the Philippines. So that's what I helped him do. I helped him find a lady. And he was like entertaining one, two, three, three, maybe four. Yeah, four ladies in the Philippines. But the whole reason for him doing that, we would talk about this. And I used to tell him, Link, Lolo, you need to eliminate, some of these ladies. Because he was, sending a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there. We talked about his finances. I always ask him, how is your finances? And he'd say, I'm fine. And I'd say, are you spending? It's okay. It's okay. I understand. We know. I know. But I would ask him, how much money did you send? How much money are you sending per month? And when he would tell me, I'd say, is that a burden on your, paying your bills and feeding yourself, making your bills? He's like, no. He goes, I'm fine. And then after a while, I said, hey, Link, you don't need to entertain. Well, he was saying, well, I can pick and choose. And I thought, okay, well, if you're okay with your finances, then it's up to you. But I told him, I don't recommend you do this anymore. So if somebody asks you, who made you, who introduced you to these ladies, I say, don't say my name, because I'm discouraging you. Stop, I said, why don't you make it two, and make your decision. And so he did. When we went to the Philippines in 2018, he met one, and that didn't work out. That was a good relationship. And then the one he's married to now was one of the other four. And he eliminated the other two. That's what his new asawa, was upset about. She was upset at me for encouraging him to, make those, support these other ladies. And I never argue with her, but I was like, I told him, don't do that anymore. So apparently he mentioned my name, and his asawa started messaging, when I was trying to communicate with Lolo on Messenger. Well, the asawa was answering me, and she was kak, 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 and I was like, oh, no. So I had to block her, and et cetera, et cetera. So, unfortunately, But I was going if I was going to um, continue the conversation, if I was going to say to her, yeah, I was going to say to her, you know, you met Lolo because I introduced him to the Philippines. So why are you upset at me? If I wouldn't have brought Lolo to the Philippines, you would never have met him. So zip it. You know? But I never said that. But in my mind, I'm thinking, why are you mad at me? You met him. And now he's going to change your life for the rest of your life. Why are you mad at me? Now, he did not meet her because of me. Directly. When he was down in Jensen with the other girl, when he was at the market one day with his girlfriend at the time, not his asawa now, but the girlfriend before that lived in Sarangani province, when they were at the market, he met a man from the UK, a British man, you know, an English-speaking man, and he was married to a Filipina. So they started talking at the market, you know, and they introduced each other. Well, no, he wasn't there with his girlfriend. He must have been in his hotel going to the market, and he met this British man. And the British man said, well, here's my email, or here's my Facebook. Stay in touch with me, you know? And so they did. They started talking. And he said, well, if you ever are looking, my asawa has a friend, and that's how he met his current asawa, was through this British man. So I didn't have any direct involvement in his meeting his asawa, but he did go to the Philippines because of me. So if I wouldn't have introduced him to the Philippines, he would never have met his wife. So anyhow, that's my story about Lolo. So yeah, it's unfortunate that we don't talk anymore. I even asked for pictures from his wedding, and I only saw one picture, and he was in his suit, his wedding outfit. It was like a formal suit, and he was wearing a hat. And that was the only picture. I never saw the bride. I never saw any wedding pictures. So, I don't know. I could contact his wife. I'm sorry. I could contact his daughter. You know, his daughter is like my age, a little bit younger than me. And I know where she lives. She lives like 10 miles away. I could contact her, you know, and find out, how's your dad? But, you know, I have not done that. So. Anyhow, girl, I gotta go. Time to go to bed. I'm 30 minutes over. my bedtime. And thank you for staying. And whoever else is in the audience, if you're there, um, sorry if you didn't get a chance to say hello. But I will be back on Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, USA. So, ciao, arrivederci, mabuhay, good night, magandang gabi, maayong gabi. As you were. All right, have a good lunch, girl.